The 2020 World Junior Tournament is about to begin, and today I'm going to give you my predictions on who is going to win each group and who is going to win the gold medal. We'll get into all the predictions coming up next. So welcome back here to Top Shelf Hockey. Now this is our third video in the World Juniors installment here so far. We've already gone through and taken a look and done a preview on what teams are competing, what to expect from each team. And we also have a second video where we're focusing on some of the top players eligible for the 2020 NHL draft that are appearing in this tournament and kind of what to look for from those players as they really try to help their countries win a medal and at the same time really improve their draft status for the upcoming 2020 NHL draft this summer held in Montreal. Now, today I want to take a look at the groups and do a prediction here on who I think is going to come away with the gold medal, but we're also going to look at the silver and bronze medals as well. So just to do a quick recap here, let's take a look at the teams in groups A and B, and then we'll go through the playoff format, and I'll tell you who I think is going to win. Now let's recap the teams in each group. In Group A, we've got Sweden, Finland, Slovakia, Switzerland, as well as Kazakhstan. And over in Group B, we have Canada, the USA, Russia, Germany, and the Czech Republic. Now, like I said, we've already done a preview of each of these teams. I've given you an idea of what I think is going to happen and what to expect from each one. Now, I'm going to give you my predictions on the standings for each group, and then we'll go through the playoff round. In Group A, I have Team Finland finishing in first place. Of course, they're the defending champions of this tournament, winning gold last year. I don't think they're quite as strong as they were last year, but I do think based on how the two groups are made up here, that the Finns are in pretty good shape to likely win the Group A here again. Now, also in Group A, we're finishing in second place, we have Sweden. Now, Sweden, I think, is likely going to be a pretty strong team as well. I think the Finns will finish slightly ahead, but otherwise, I'm not sure the Sweden team has much competition here besides Team Finland. Finishing in third place in Group A, I have Team Switzerland. Now, the Swiss, I think, will be the best of the rest, basically. Between them, the Slovaks, and Team Kazakhstan, I think we'll see a third place finish for the Swiss team. Although, really, these bottom three teams, I think, are lacking star caliber players that are NHL prospects that are going to go on to be pro hockey players over at least in North America. Finishing in fourth place, we got the Slovaks, and then in last place, I have Team Kazakhstan. Now, unfortunately, there's not a lot of higher quality NHL prospects on those last couple of teams there, but that's how I have the teams finishing in Group A. Now let's take a look at the predictions for Group B. Now in Group B, I have Team USA finishing in first place. Like I said in the preview, I just think on paper they're the strongest team and really should have an excellent shot at winning this tournament. They got great goaltending, some solid D, and some explosive forward, so I do expect them to finish in first place after round robin play. In second place, I have Team Canada. I do think Team Canada is going to fare better than last year, where they had a very disappointing tournament. They have 5 returning players and some solid defense, as well as some really strong forwards as well. My question mark for Team Canada is going to be in goal, and I think their fate here, either whether they finish better or worse, is going to depend on how good the goaltending is this year. I think it's a little bit tougher to predict. In third place, I have Team Russia, who's going to really, I think, go as far or as low as their goaltending takes them as well. They're another team that has some pretty solid defense and forwards. Our young goaltender, Yaroslav Askarov, could very well be a star of this tournament, but he is quite young. He's draft eligible this year, not quite 18 years of age as of yet. So really, if he has an excellent tournament, I think the Russians can go quite far. But if he struggles, since he is still quite young, then they very well might not finish quite as strong. But I have them finishing in third place here in round robin play. Then I have Team Germany, might see a bit of an upside here, but the Germans, I think, just have some more quality NHL prospects than the other teams, and I think we're going to see some surprises here with Germany in fourth. And unfortunately, I do have the host team, the Czech Republic, finishing in fifth place, but I do think that they very well will have some strong gains and some strong finishes here as well. I know the people of the Czech Republic greatly support this tournament, are certainly going to be coming out to support their team. I just don't see a lot of great results, unfortunately, for them in this tournament. How the playoffs work, in case you're not familiar, is 4 out of the 5 teams are going to make the playoffs from each group, with the bottom team finishing in last place having to play a relegation game, which means they could be out of the tournament next year if they don't win. But the other 4 teams go on, and then they have a crossover format here, which we'll take a look at now. As you can see, the playoff format would be lined up as first place in Group A would play fourth place in Group B, which would give us a game of Finland versus Germany. We have second place in Group B, would then play third place in Group A, which would give us Canada versus Switzerland. Then we have first place in Group B versus fourth place in Group A, which would give us the USA versus Slovakia. And then the fourth and final quarterfinal matchup would be second place in Group A, which I have as Team Sweden, playing the third place team in Group B, which I have as Team Russia. Now let's go on and I'll give you my predictions for each of these quarterfinal matchups and who will meet in the semifinals. First quarterfinal matchup of Finland versus Germany. As much as I think Germany could be a good story in this tournament, I think the Finns are going to be a little bit too strong here and end up taking out Team Germany for the victory. Moving on to the semifinals, you get Canada versus Switzerland. And as much as I'm not real sure about Canada's goaltending, I do think that a victory over the Swiss in the quarterfinals should be something we can bank on. But we've seen Team Switzerland surprise Team Canada and give them a hard go here at other tournaments in the past. So it wouldn't be surprising, actually, if that ended up being a closer game than many people might think. And of course, we got Team USA beating the Slovaks. Like I said, I think on paper at least, the Americans look to be the powerhouse of the tournament. And then we have Russia beating Sweden in the final quarterfinal matchup. Now, that's only going to happen if they get the goaltending that I think they can from Askarov. Now, of course, like I said, he's young. He's not quite 18 years old. He's 2020 draft eligible, likely going to be a top 10 pick. And really, his play, I think, will be a big factor here, along with some of their other top prospects. But I do have the Russians upsetting Sweden and going on to the semifinals. So that gives us two semifinal matchups of Canada versus Finland and the U.S. versus Russia. So certainly some very highly entertaining matchups here. Now, of Canada versus Finland, I do have the Canadians beating the Finns and ending their possibility here of going back-to-back gold medalists and going on to play in the finals. And in the other semifinal matchup, I have Team USA defeating Team Russia and going on for a Canada-US gold medal final, which is something that we haven't seen here in a little while, but certainly would be a very entertaining matchup to pit these rivals against each other. Of course, that puts the bronze medal match with the two losers in the semifinal of Team Finland playing Team Russia. Now, between Canada and the USA, I do have the US coming out on top of Team Canada. I do think that they're just a little bit too strong this year. A great improvement for Canada to move up and get a medal and finish in second place, taking home the silver medal. I'm just not sure that they have enough firepower and goaltending to beat that American squad. And then I also have Team Russia going on to upset the Finns and take home the bronze medal as well. So your three medalists are going to be US with gold, Canada with silver, and Russia with bronze, if, of course, assuming my predictions actually come true. Now, of course, these are just my predictions. Things can go quite differently in these tournaments. We've seen some wild swings, some strong teams not performing well, and some surprise teams that happens on quite a regular basis. So, of course, as always, I want to know what your predictions are. Give me the three teams you see winning the medals at this tournament. And also, too, I love to hear your predictions on who might be relegated from this tournament. The two teams would be Kazakhstan against the Czech Republic. If my predictions hold true, I would see the Czech Republic winning and Kazakhstan being the team that would end up being relegated out for next year's tournament. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments and we can continue the conversation. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and turning on your notifications so you don't miss any future content, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it as well. I'd appreciate it if you did. As always, thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.